It's your duty to defend Islam. And if someone is talking evil about any Muslim, they must be quiet or you leave. If you don't want to defend him, you have to defend him. If you're sitting with him. If you don't want to do that, you must get up and leave. Because a Muslim has a right upon another Muslim. Yeah, you have to defend him. It's your duty. You can't say, oh, in your heart I disagree. Nothing's stopping you from talking. You have a duty to defend Islam, and you have a duty to defend a Muslim, let alone a scholar. You know what they said about those, especially who serve Islam? That their flesh is poisonous, and the one who talks about them, his destiny is near. What do they mean by that? When you talk about one of these scholars, one of these heroic men, it's like eating their flesh. The only difference is this flesh is poisonous, meaning it's going to kill you. And the destiny for one who does that is very short. So yes, if there's a truth, we must defend our brothers and sisters.
Especially when we have now the people movement to put a blind outside up. If you don't know how to defend it, now you know how to defend it, you know how to talk. You should, isn't it? Make sure you cover it.
After we have the knowledge, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if anyone has doubts or anything, ask now. You probably heard a lot of things. Go ahead.
There's a lot of people who will discourage Muslims to learn from Saudi, and especially the school of Jamiat al-Islamiyya, saying that the rulers there and the government there have influenced the Salafi da'wah that's there. What is your position on it? Like, how safe is it? And how clear?
Well, text-wise, the teaching there's no better place in this planet to learn Islam. Text-wise. Application-wise, that goes to each person on his own. You could take it and be like Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab. Or you take it and be like other scholars who are traders over there. Or big heads. So it's up to you. But text-wise, there's no book on there that says King Fahd is the one who wrote it. All of them, Shawkani, San'ani, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn al-Qayyim. That's the text they teach you. So it's nothing the government did. You could take that text and say, Wallah, I'll sleep on Wala and Bara and forget about it. Or you could take that text and say, I'm going to apply what I learned.
You were saying Shaykh, who came after Shaykh al-Islam?
Ibn Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab, his sons, Abdullah, and I think the second one was Ali, if I'm not mistaken. And there was other scholars. There was just the Mufti prior. You know Ali Shaykh. If you hear Ali Shaykh, there's a family. You hear Al Saud and Ali Shaykh. Ali Shaykh, that means there's the real blood descendants of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab. The Mufti now in Saudi is Ali Shaykh. But unfortunately he's a descendant by blood, not descendant by actions. But prior to him was Ibn Baz. Prior to Ibn Baz was Muhammad ibn Ibrahim al-Shaykh, one of the most amazing scholars you ever hear of. This man was on the steps of his great-grandfather. He was an amazing man, you know. Muhammad ibn Ibrahim.
And he taught Ibn Baz?
He's the teacher of Ibn Baz, yes. Any more questions? Sure. Ridwan.
Yeah, what's wrong with the Wahhabis right now? Is there any...
Who's the Wahhabis, Ridwan? After this lecture...
No, I'm saying... You said at the beginning of the lecture, you know, Wahhabis, they don't follow Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab, or they have some, you know...
Well, Muhammad, like I told you at the end, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab has sections in his book on Wala and Bara. Wala and Bara means you stand against a kafir or a Muslim when there's a conflict between a Muslim and a kafir, or when there's no conflict. Do they apply that today? Do they apply that? That's exactly the problem there is. They don't apply the stuff that is in Muhammad Abdul Wahab's books.
As you said that he didn't say anything from his side, right? And you talk about the Palestine and all these areas to fight them. It was his opinion. We are fighting because it is our land. What is the status of suicide bombing in this regard? Because we have in Qur'an that whenever whoever kills himself will go to hell. It is a hadith or in Qur'an, I don't remember exactly, but what is the status of in that regard, the suicide bombing?
There's conflicting opinions among scholars on that, but it's true that one who kills himself for no reason is in hellfire. That's true. However, we have stories where the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, when they conquered that same story I was talking about, Musaylam al-Kadhab, they threw themselves over a fence knowingly they're going to die. So scholars said killing yourself for a reason like this, killing yourself for the hatred of this life, for personal gain, then yes, that's haram. But if it means giving victory like one of the Sahaba did when he jumped over the fence, and the reason he did that is so he preoccupied the people and they enter from the door. If you're doing it like that, then that's not haram, because he did it in the Sahaba's time, and when they objected to him doing it, he replied back to them. They used the verse, and don't throw yourself onto death. He said, you don't even know what this verse means, and he replied onto that. He said it means something totally other than what you mean, and the Sahaba then did not say nothing. So what did it mean? وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ, don't spend too much to destroy yourself. That's what it means.
Can you tell us about the ayat that says, don't throw yourself into destruction?
That's exactly what I just said.
It's the same one?
Yes.
And can you explain a little bit more of does it mean about going
what
to
it
fight?
What it means, I didn't say it, but what it means is don't don't spend so much that you destroy yourself spending. The Sahaba got at a point where everyone was spending all his wealth and he left nothing for himself. And that's what it means.
I heard from one Shaykh that I might have misunderstood him, but he said that when news came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, that's not how we understood it. We understood it that if you didn't go to jihad, you would throw yourself into tahlukah, you would go.
That's probably a different narration, and I think that's right, but we're talking about a specific situation that happened with the Sahabi, and he was trying to climb over a huge fence or secured area where Musaylam al-Kadhab was, and he was the cause for their victory. And it means the same thing. Don't spend so much to the point that you destroy yourself. Meaning they were spending so much that they were going to destroy yourself. It doesn't mean about throwing yourself onto death. That's not what it means. So basically, the gist of this, inshallah, is we obtain knowledge. I don't know how much to stress this. Knowledge is the key. We talk a lot about other things, and we're really not fit to do a lot of other things without the knowledge. If you know every man I mentioned to you, this is not a coincidence. Don't think you're better than them. We shouldn't think we're better than them. Don't think that they went through the struggle of traveling these deserts to learn just because, for the heck of it. They got nothing better to do. No, they did it for a purpose. They wanted to be supreme on this earth. And that's why I say, knowledge. They say, what can we do? What are you going to do to the situation? Learn, brother. Learn. That's what I'm saying is learn. That's the solution. That's what's under your hand. Under your hand right now is to learn. Other than that, time, there will be time for everything, inshaAllah. Jazakum Allah khair wa sallallahu Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.